Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Coast Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and you're watching another episode of Between the Ropes. Tonight, I have my co-host for the evening, none other than, well, we'll start out with Mr. Crispy Bacon. Crispy, how are you doing tonight, my man?
Doing good. A lot going on in wrestling, and we're here to cover it.
And then, of course, we have none other than Mr. Dragon Viper. Viper, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Just ready to talk wrestling.
Yeah, he said he's going to get his official tattoo of RK Bro, and that's coming probably within the next week or so.
No, not happening.
Maybe Randy Orton.
What?
Maybe Randy Orton.
Maybe Randy Orton. All right. Well, we do actually have quite a bit to talk about on Between the Ropes. So, Dragon Viper, I just want to make sure before I jump into it, I do want to make sure that you had the chance to watch Raw, because I don't want to, talk about anything if you have not had the chance to watch it yet.
You can go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome in.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and jump into it. Big B, you hopped on. I think we have an echo going on.
Do we? Okay, I was having trouble with the laptop, so
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I'll try to restart.
Okay. You're good. Okay. So I'm just waiting to see if Big B is going to try and restart or what. Okay, right there. Okay. So as we saw on Monday Night Raw, at the very end of it, when Adam Pearce is in the ring and he's talking, to Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso and Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins, and then the Judgment Day is there, and he's like, okay, you guys like to play games, we've been doing this every week, it's a constant thing. And then he finally made it official that those four are going to be going up against the Judgment Day at War Games. So they're going to actually be in the War Games match. And I think for like the longest time, we've kind of all talked about that, and we're like, we kind of saw it coming in a way to where we're like, okay, we believe that these four are going to go against the Judgment Day in War Games. But I'm going to kind of throw a little hitch in there that I truly think is going to happen, in my opinion, because there has been reports that I've read, and again, they're just reports, and we know that reports are just rumors, and you never know if they're true, you never know if they're not true. So, but it's a report. So, it was a report I read that Drew McIntyre is going to turn heel, and that when he turns heel, there's a potential that he could join the Judgment Day. So we know that right now, it's 4-on-4 in War Games, but do they make this like a 5-on-5 in War Games? And somehow does Drew McIntyre get tangled up in this, end up joining the Judgment Day, and then like a surprise person ends up joining up with Rollins and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Don't know. So I'm just really curious your guys' thoughts, whether or not you could truly believe this could be a 5-on-5 with some kind of mystery partner with Seth's team, and think about, could it end up being somebody like Randy Orton, who they bring back and say, this is the surprise partner. All right, so Dragon Viper, I'll start with you on this one. Do you think this could end up being like a 5-on-5 with some kind of surprise partner?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, normally Survivor Series, tag matches or, elimination matches, all the stuff that they used to do previously would be 5-on-5. So I have a feeling that there could be, something like Drew McIntyre, joining Rollins' team, or no, Judgment Day, sorry. And so I could see, I mean, there's rumors just rolling around a lot about CM Punk and about Randy Orton both coming back to Survivor Series. So it could be one of them that would join, Rollins' team, or it could be neither one and somebody else shows up. So yeah, I could see it being a 5-on-5, like, original. So yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah, and I'm definitely right there. I think the only thing is like we know that CM Punk is from Chicago, and we know it's taking place in Chicago, so that's why everyone's speculating. Oh, you know what? CM Punk's gonna show up. Honestly, I don't see it.
I don't either.
I don't
do.
see it happening.
I do.
Because the other rumor that I heard, about the whole CM Punk thing and CM Punk coming back was that fans would like it if he came back at Survivor Series because it's in Chicago. But WWE said, hey, we never said that it wasn't a no forever. We just said it was a no for right now because
Right.
it could potentially be waiting for like WrestleMania season to where they're trying to find the right opponent for him to bring him back at Mania. But we don't know. And Callan's going, Dominic Mysterio.
Not again.
Big B, your thoughts on War Games. Do you end up seeing this being some kind of 5-on-5, or do you think they stick with what they have?
I definitely would like to see him go 5-on-5. I don't think Drew needs a stable to join, but if that's all the indication, then so be it. I'd like to see possibly Ray join Seth's team in a 5-on-5. I mean, I'd like to see Randy come back, but I just don't know how well that injury is holding up. I know he's been working out, he's been spotted here and there, but I'd like to see them throw Ray in there, and if they got to throw Drew in there, then go ahead throw Drew. But it will be 5-on-5 come 2 weeks from this week.
Mm-hmm. All right, Crispy Bacon. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 5-on-5. I also think that they're making all these references about, CM Punk, and they're doing all this stuff. It's going to be in Chicago. I see that he is going to return. McIntyre is going to join the Judgment Day. They kind of referred to it during the pay-per-view that they're trying to recruit either McIntyre or Seth, I think it was, one of them to join the Judgment Day. They both declined. They went on with the match. But you could see in the back, Rhea kind of saying, you should have joined the Judgment Day. And I think he's going to join the Judgment Day and make it five people. Then you have Punk at the last minute. Like, the four come out, and then at the final buzzer, you see Punk come out.
So I'm not saying you're wrong there. Okay, I'm not saying you're wrong, Crispy. My thing is that maybe look. I know that there's been a lot of things going out there to where people are saying that WWE was saying no and things like that. That the board of directors were saying we're not talking to him. But could this indeed be kind of like a kayfabe thing to where they're trying to throw everybody off because they know that the internet world is out there talking and being like, what, CM Punk is coming back to WWE, and they're seeing rumors, and WWE doesn't want people to know, so they're trying to throw everybody off by saying, no, it's not true. We're not talking to him. He hasn't signed. We haven't been talking. It could be a thing just to kind of show everybody, you know what? We're just trying to do it secretly because we don't want people to know that when he actually comes out, holy crap, you know what? He actually came here.
Kind of like Cody Rhodes when he came back from Mania.
But people knew Cody Rhodes was coming back.
Oh yeah, but
people knew about that. But the thing is, imagine though. So imagine you sitting at home, right? Imagine you sitting at home, and WrestleMania was there, and you're trying to
It's like
figure out
Demi Moore.
who's wrestling Seth, who's wrestling Seth. But the internet world wasn't there, and people were not talking about Cody Rhodes and saying he's signed, he's wrestling Seth, right? You're sitting at home, you're watching Mania, and you're like, who is it? And then you hear wrestling has more than everybody would go crazy. Like the whole everybody watching would have went nuts because everyone would have been like, "Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that." But when
Yeah.
you heard it, you're like, "We saw it coming because the internet world said it." And that's what ruined it. So maybe that's why I'm like, maybe this time they're just trying to throw everybody off track by saying no, it's not happening. So Big B, we know that with Survivor Series around the corner, do you indeed think that this is just a little bit of a smoke screen for WWE by saying it's not happening and it entail could be happening?
I mean, right now my betting would be 50-50. I mean, as a fan, I don't think CM Punk needs to come back. He's been there twice. He's walked out. There's been backstage heat on him. It sounds like a cancer. I mean, even in AEW, um, I can really see him going back to AEW with the gimmick that they're pulling with the MJF Devil. But I think he needs to go maybe to TNA a little bit, which has been rumored too that he's going to Impact. But I hope they're not bringing him back. I know it's in Chicago. I saw a little gift that somebody put on Facebook that look, they're even pointing in their flyer. They circled the C and the M for Survivor Series, being that it's in Chicago, and it's just like fans want to be the first, and if he does show up, then all those fans will be like, "See, I told you, I would never lie," But I hope he
But
doesn't show up.
he also had a chance to show up at Impact when they had their pay-per-view in Chicago. He didn't show up.
Yeah, I really hope WCW WWE just lets him go. Let him go to WCW. I mean, they might need him, but WWE doesn't need him.
No, they really don't. But it's going to be, it's going to be based upon what CM Punk wants. Now, to me, I think what makes it truly different is look. I think if this was all Vince McMahon and all Triple H, I think what it would boil down to is Vince and Triple H would have been like, absolutely not. I think what makes this whole situation different is because Endeavor is the owners of it, and it's
Yeah, and he was in
UFC,
UFC.
and they're CM Punk fans, and
Mhm.
so I think that might play a little bit of part in it to where UFC would or Ari Emanuel would be like, hey, the board wants CM Punk back. Endeavor wants CM Punk back. I think that could play a whole factor in it. I'm not saying I'm not saying it will, but I'm saying remember who's in charge now, Endeavor, and they also own UFC, and they like Punk. So that's what I'm like. Maybe it could happen.
Yeah, I
But-
kind of forgot about the UFC angle on it. Because I know there's talk that Brock could be coming back and for a match or two. So yeah, I mean, I guess now with the Endeavor UFC side of it, I could probably go 70% that Punk will be there on in Chicago for Survivor Series.
All right, so Dragon Viper, what's your overall thoughts? Does this kind of change your thoughts knowing that Endeavor and UFC?
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree with Big B. I mean, I completely forgot the whole CM Punk UFC angle and it probably is because he really sucked in UFC. So I kind of tried to forget about it. But Yeah, it could be a good possibility that if he does return, it'll be because of them. It won't be because of Triple H or Vince. So I think if there's a slight chance that he actually does show up, it will be because of Endeavor.
Uh-huh.
And
What
I
was
think
that?
Ace is frozen.
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like Ace is frozen. So
Oh, there he is. There he is.
there it is.
Yep, I'm
Hey.
back now. Sorry. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Okay. You got me, Chris?
I got you.
Okay. So, Christy's saying, I see Orton returning rather than CM Punk. And then she's also saying, has Endeavor heard about the BS Punk pulled in 80? Look, I'm pretty sure they have, but
Mhm.
I'm
in the
sure,
end,
yeah.
this is my thing about it. In honesty, okay. Look, am I a Punk fan? Not really. Okay, I'm not this big Punk fan. The only reason I'm saying this could potentially happen, when CM Punk was in AEW, what happened besides all the BS drama backstage? What happened? CM Punk was one of the top merch sellers in AEW. He sold a
Still
lot of
is.
merchandise. He kind of brought the viewership at the very beginning. Endeavor could look at this and be like, hey, CM Punk, he brought in money with merchandise sales. That could be something they could look at and be like, is Punk money? If CM Punk is money, then any possibility is on the table. That's just where I'm leaving with that. Is that if they truly believe Punk is money, anything is on the table at this point.
Well, yeah, if you go with the money factor, I mean, yeah, CM Punk. I mean, when he first showed up on AEW the first time, it was just a huge pop. I mean, we've seen that in WWE all the time, where they bring back a legend and he gets pop and and sales and stuff. So I mean, yeah, if you factor in the money sale, then there's probably a good chance that CM Punk will be here back in WWE come Survivor Series. So I mean, definitely the money factor does play a factor.
All right. So Warren Morlow saying CM Punk leave professional wrestling. So he's telling CM Punk, leave, please, just go away. All right. So shifting gears, we saw a person return at Crown Jewel, and Kerry Sane. Kerry Sane returned. The Kabuki Warriors, as we know them. It looks like they could potentially be reuniting with another person, being involved in this group, which is Asuka. So now they're talking about potentially Asuka, Io, and Kerry. And to me, that would be that would be a freaking phenomenal group. I'm not gonna lie. Like that would put that is like a female stable that I would absolutely love to see. So I actually could not wait for it. I'm getting excited to see if that can. And Warren's saying if CM Punk wants a match, I'm free. Okay, so Dragon Viper, your biases aside here, what's your thoughts on Kerry Sane returning to WWE?
I wasn't really big on the Kabuki Warriors. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that.
Go figure.
Yeah, of course. But I was actually happy to see Kairi Sane actually return. Um, I don't know if aligning herself with Io Sky, that could be something. It could be the fact that I'm not a big Asuka fan. So I like Kairi Sane and I like Io Sky. So if they do something together, that'd be great. I would like to see how that works out. But yeah, to combine to put Asuka in the middle of that, I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, Asuka's amazing. Asuka is
Yeah.
one of, whether you want to agree with this or not, Asuka's one of the top tier female wrestlers there is in WWE.
She's good at what she does. I'm not going to take that away from her. I just don't like her. I mean, she's amazing what she does. I just don't like her.
All right, so Big B, your thoughts on the Kabuki Warriors, but also adding Asuka.
I do like the fact that she came back. I kind of do like the fact that they're kind of bringing more stables together, especially in the women's division. It'd be nice to see, Kabuki Warriors with Asuka, whatever they could be called. I know there's a slim chance because one of the ladies ain't there anymore that we finally get the four horsewomen reuniting, but we know Banks ain't there to do that. But it's good to see. I like the little stables kind of thing. I hope it doesn't get overblown, like the NWO did back when they came about, just adding everybody. So they keep it to 3-4 people. I'm okay with it. But yeah, that was definitely a big surprise at Crown Jewel.
I didn't see it coming.
All right, Crispy Bacon, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I was surprised that she, I guess, re-debuted on, during Crown Jewel. I think they said her contract ended with New Japan, but she was going to head over to WWE. It was just a matter of when. Forming a new faction stable will be interesting. I think one of the first opponents would probably be Bailey, because that was kind of the last opponent she had and didn't work out. And I think they're going to sign one other, but she went to another company. I think it was Shariah. I think she signed with another company, but she was going to be part of it too. That was rumored.
Yeah, well, I thought Saraya signed with another company, but
she did.
But but then I thought the other day I read that no, she did in fact not sign with another company, and that she's still in talks with WWE. You're
I'll have
not
to look up on that. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of Japanese female wrestlers that WWE have been in talk with, and Saraya has been one of them. I have
heard of that, yeah.
Yes, and another one that I would love to see transition over would be Starlight Kid. I think that she would also be a fantastic one to come to WWE also. I've been a big fan of Starlight Kid for a very, very long time. And Saya Camartini is another one that I've been a fan of too, that I could potentially would love to see come to WWE also. I'm just kind of glad that they took this angle, and very excited to see Kairi Sane back. But transitioning over again, this one's transitioning over to the AEW side. Just really quick here, we saw and I don't know. This one puzzled me a little bit. I get why they did it, but the multi-year contract that they signed Ric Flair up for.
That's crazy.
I get why they did it. To me, it was puzzling, and the reason I'm saying it was puzzling is because you have TK, who comes after who kept coming after Vince and talking about Vince's troubled past, and Vince did this, and well, what about Ric Flair?
I was going to say Ric Flair had a lot too.
So Ric Flair had a troubled past.
Yes.
So why would TK go after Vince, but then look at Rick and be like, "Oh, your troubled past doesn't mean anything. It's fine. It's just what Vince did was wrong. What Flair did, you're completely okay." And then signing him to your deal. So Big B, what's your thoughts on the whole Ric Flair signing a multi-year deal with AEW?
As long as he does not get in the ring, I'm okay with it. I think he's still a draw. I think he could definitely help the younger talent learn the aspects of wrestling. But I just don't want to see him in the ring. I know some people threw it out there that they signed him because Sting wants that to be his last match. I just hope not. As much as I like Sting and give him what he wants, we all saw the highlights of Flair's last match a year or so ago, that tag match. And there was reports that he passed out a couple of times and doesn't remember and all this stuff. So I just don't want to see Ric Flair in the ring. But hey, you know what? Go ahead, get him. Get him the multi-year deal for whatever. I saw rumors too that Tony Khan's also throwing Hogan's name out there, that he wants to bring him in, too. And that's another guy I hope does not get back in the ring. Bring him in for a manager role or, commentary role. That's fine, or backstage presence. But yeah, nope. I mean, good for Flair. I know he's over there with the son-in-law now, so maybe they could work some magic over there.
But,
there's
go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say there's an issue in that he doesn't mind taking bumps. He wants to continue to wrestle.
He does. But just really quick, Big B, I was going to go back to you really, really quick on something, because you did mention how his son-in-law Andrade is there. So because Flair signing this multi-year deal, with AEW, let's say that Charlotte Flair's contract comes up. Would you see Charlotte Flair making that jump to AEW to go join her father and Andrade?
Yeah, I definitely see that one happening. She has roots in WWE, but I just think her dad and her husband and doing that thing. I definitely could see her going into AEW and being a force to be reckoned with there.
So Warren's saying he's not with Charlotte no more. I was pretty sure it was because I thought Andrade put the kiboshes on that rumor, saying that actually was false when people were talking about that they split up. He came out and said that rumor was false. They are indeed still together. And so I was pretty sure I saw that. So Warren was saying that Flair passed out because he was dehydrated, and then Warren saying, honestly, Hogan can go. Tim saying AEW is like a newer version of WCW. Warren saying he's not with Charlotte anymore, I think, but he is. Andrade said they still are together. Tim saying they better give Charlotte the title. I mean, they don't really have to give Charlotte the title. But anyway,
No.
Dragon Viper, your thoughts on Flair signing a multi-year deal?
Okay, well, I want to go off of what you said first, though, Ace, and that is why he was so inept about Vince and not about Rick. It's because Rick is pulling in the money for TK, not for, so that I think that's why he decided to go ahead and ignore what Ric Flair did in the past, just because he is bringing in the money. And I think in a business aspect, Rick knows a lot. So you've got, I mean, you don't just have the, former WWE superstars there and all that. You have the younger talent. You have, on a business aspect, I think it's a good idea for Ric Flair to be there. I think it's a good idea if he trained a lot of these guys and helped a lot of these guys. I think him getting in the ring would be disastrous. I mean, again, it was mentioned that Sting wanted his last match, and it sounded like it was to be with Ric Flair. But I think Ric Flair being in one last match would it'd probably kill him at this point. So I don't think it'd be a good idea for Rick to be in the ring. But yes, on a business standpoint, I honestly think he'd be good for the up and coming guys that are coming out on in AEW.
Look, I know how people are talking about how Ric Flair shouldn't get back in the ring, and I agree with you. Flair's one that should not get back in the ring, but I can guarantee that if they come to him and ask Rick to get in the ring and wrestle him, Rick's not saying no.
No, he'll say yes.
Absolutely, 100%. He will be like, I know I said that the match everybody watched was my last match, but I lied.
It's not my last match.
Yeah.
He does that all the time, though.
And so I'm just saying, for sure that if they ask him, he's going to do it. 100% he will do it if they ask him.
That's why every time I hear, "Oh, my final match, I'm retiring, my final match," I just laugh and go, "Okay, yeah, whatever."
Right. All right, Crispy, your thoughts on Ric Flair signing with AEW?
A lot of people didn't like the move, and I can understand why with his past and what Tony Khan said about Vince, and then you kind of go back on that and you sign Ric Flair, but he does bring in money. He does bring in a lot of attendance, and it's going to help the younger talent, in future matches and future promotions, and I think it's just a good move overall. Whether it's going to last, I don't know, but it's a good move right now.
Yeah, I think it definitely will help the younger talent that comes in. I think that it will help them. I think the biggest issue, and Big B, you might agree with this, and you may not. When people talk about AEW and they talk about the biggest problem with AEW is that TK has a difficult time telling a story.
Mm-hmm.
Like his matches are just kind of all over the place. And in 1 week, this guy's here wrestling this guy, but then all of a sudden he's thrown in a match with this guy. And then at the pay-per-view, it's like, oh, he's going up against this guy. And everyone's like, how's that make sense? A week ago, he's wrestling this guy, and now he's over here. So, Big B, with you, being an AEW watcher, and then Christy, I'll get to you in a minute too. Big B, would you agree with this assessment? Like, TK has a difficult time telling a story.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, yeah, they put on banger matches week in, week out. I mean, sometimes they have a title match to start off the show, and they'll have a title match to end it. So, but yeah, no, I definitely agree that the storyline telling needs to be brought up more and be more focused on, because like you said, Ace, you got this guy wrestling, then next week he's wrestling somebody else, and then it's a little confusing, and that's one thing I think AEW needs to work on strongly. And also they need to, and I think they're kind of going that way now, but they need to build up their own talent, get these guys that aren't WWE guys. I mean, go out and get an Impact guy, bring them in, but they need to get away from putting the titles on the WWE guys, and they need to build their own legacy.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like TK does that just to spite WWE. Like, look, we signed him, and look, we made him a champion when you wouldn't do it.
Mhm.
But it doesn't matter. Like WWE's like, who cares? Make him champion. We don't care. But so Chris,
Like we thought he sucked anyway.
yeah. So you being a AEW watcher too, do you agree that that's probably the biggest issue with AEW is that he can't tell a story?
I think it is mostly a problem because I feel TK is just way too overwhelmed with so many other responsibilities besides creative, producing the show, booking the matches, and that sort of thing. I keep hoping that he hires more help in terms of helping him in a lot of different areas so there's not so much put on him. And yeah, the matches do feel pretty random. Like sometimes they'll start with like an international title match, and sometimes they'll end it with an AEW world title match. And I also have an issue with how they book the women's division because they have so many talented women on their roster that are former WWE and non-WWE. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, but I think is like a part of the problem is that TK books as a fan.
He does.
So
I mean, yeah, he's given us some great. He's given us great dream matches, that's for sure. But it's just it can be better.
Exactly, and that's but this is the problem though, and I'm not only talking about with AEW fans, I'm talking about with WWE fans and everything else. The problem is that fans look at these matches and go, well, if I was running WWE, I would take this guy and put him against here because I just don't think this guy deserves to be a champion. And I don't agree with this. And I'm like, okay, now you're saying that this guy shouldn't be doing this, but then you look at AEW and you're like, these decisions don't make sense. Okay,
No.
but now you're telling me the same exact thing that they're doing, and what you're saying in your mind makes sense. But then you're looking at AEW and saying it doesn't make sense. So that's my point. Is you're saying you want to change things, but then you want to change it and do what AEW is doing. But then you're looking at AEW and saying, but what they're doing isn't right. So then how is what you're wanting to do right and what they're doing is wrong? So it's kind of trying to break it down like that.
Though the one big and Chrissy brought it up is the way they booked their women's division. Cargill was, I mean, how many matches did she not lose as the TNA Women's TNA
TBS champion? 60.
And never got a title shot for the world title.
Never.
So I mean, right there, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, it made me wonder what the deal was, to be honest. Like, why aren't you booking Jade against someone like the caliber of, say, Britt Baker, a former world champion, Hikaru Shida, Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter? I could go on and on how many matches Jade did not have against top tier AEW women's talent, and they never did it that way. So that kind of pissed me off really bad there.
And didn't they use like a standing system, like rankings and?
Yeah, I had a ranking system.
Kind of,
you got to think about it. Jade's record in AEW was 60-2, with her last 2 losses coming to the woman who beat her for that TBS title, and Chris Stadlander.
Yeah,
and that was going to be used, but then it kind of faded out.
It did.
Yeah, it definitely did. It just, I don't know, just that's just my thoughts on the whole thing in general. But transitioning away from this now, we know again, we briefly talked about the War Games that are coming up between Team and Judgment Day.
Yeah.
We do know a few other matches that are taking place at Survivor Series.
2 matches.
2 so far, I think.
Yeah, we know 2 more. It's going to be Miz and Gunther. And
Rhea and Zoe.
Rhea versus Zoe Stark.
Yep, in Rhea and Zoe, and I think that that's going to actually be a great match also.
It's going to be fun.
Yep. I actually can't wait for Survivor Series. I think that War Games is always good. I mean,
War Games is a lot of fun.
Everybody
It
loves
keeps you,
a little bit of War Games.
Keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's that exciting.
The one person that I'm really trying to figure out when they're going to take the belt off this person is Seth Rollins. And the only reason I'm saying that is look, my honest assessment of it, and somebody had posted this, and when I read it, I'm like, you know what, this clearly makes sense, right? So you look at Seth Rollins, and you're like, this dude has such a phenomenal run with the heavyweight title. I mean, just freaking phenomenal.
He's made it prestigious.
Absolutely. That when Rollins loses this title, people are going to go back and be like, holy crap, what Rollins did as world heavyweight champion was freaking amazing.
It was.
So when you take it off of Rollins, like, you have to pick that right person that's going to take it off of Rollins. Like, you have to. It just can't be anybody. Like, it has to be that right person that's going to take it off of Rollins.
It has to be someone special, like someone who can really step up and continue what Rollins has done with that championship. Make it important, make it prestigious.
Exactly. I'm almost afraid to ask Dragon Viper this, because I know he only has like 4 or 5,000 likes.
He's got that look.
But Dragon Viper, in your mind, who do you truly feel would be the right guy to take the belt off of Rollins because of what he's done for it so far?
Honestly, I don't know. Because Seth Rollins, him being champion is awesome. I like him. I like him being champion. It would really need to be somebody really good. If I had to choose anybody, and I don't think it can't be a cash out. It can't be,
Damian Priest, no.
Damian Priest doing it now. I mean, the only person I can really think of would be Orton returning and taking it. Goldberg. But no, I think the only person, if I think through the roster, it would have to be Orton.
Shocker.
Shocker, but
shocker.
No, seriously, if I go through the entire roster in my head, that's the only one I could ever.
You might as well have just said Riddle to take it off of him.
No. Dragon Viper's honestly happy Riddle is no longer in WWE anymore.
I am
He's
very
yes.
Honestly, there's one guy that Warren is saying that, number one, I truly agree with, that I feel good, and that is Gunther. Because right now, I'll tell you, that dude is on a whole nother planet right now by himself.
Oh my God.
Warren.
So Gunther is another one that I'm like, that dude. So Gunther, I feel like Sheamus is another one. So those are two that come to mind that I can think of.
Rehabbing from an injury, I think.
So if AJ Styles got traded to Raw or something, I feel AJ Styles could be that dude also.
Drew McIntyre, I still think he needs it.
So AJ Styles is on Raw.
He is. He's just. I think he's been rehabbing and I think he's been recovering from an injury. As is Sheamus. They both have.
So Big B. Who do you see as like the perfect guy because of this phenomenal run that Rollins has had?
I mean, first off, I think WWE needs to figure out how to get the belt off of Reigns first. I think foremost, but right now, I mean, unless it's Drew,
Him.
unless it's Drew, maybe it's an NXT guy. I know there's rumors that Braun Breaker is going to be the next guy coming up, so maybe it's
I
him.
heard.
I would like to see Cody Rhodes get it, but I think he's had his chance. I don't know why they didn't give it to him last year, but
Storyline according to Triple H.
yeah. But I think their first concern is to transition Gunther into a heavyweight title contender, get the IC title off of him, and then get it off of Roman.
I think Warren's got a couple of points. And one is Cody at Mania, and the other is the type of match that could happen at WrestleMania is an I Quit match.
Well, yes,
I've heard that too.
They have
Right.
they've actually already talked about that, and and so basically we already know how they're getting the title off of Roman. They're doing it in Mania. They're doing it against, and they are doing it with Cody. Okay,
Yes.
and we know they're gonna make it an I Quit match, which to me is great. You know what? It's freaking phenomenal. It's a great way to go. It is.
I actually like the idea.
And so it's, and here's a tidbit for everybody who's shaking their head and being like, "Oh my God, Roman Reigns, blah 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 blah." I see Dragon Viper up there shaking his head, going, "I don't get it. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense."
No, I said it's stupid.
Do you know that they actually did, and they actually did this poll on there, and they actually put this poll on there that at WrestleMania last year, they actually interviewed people at Mania, and they said, "Hey, who are you here to see? What match are you here for?" 93% of the people there said they were there to watch the Roman Reigns match.
I want to see this
exactly
poll.
what they said.
Me too. Where's the poll?
So, I will look through. I will find the poll and I will send it to you. 93%. And so, if 93% says that, there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. But we know how they're taking the belt off of him. We already know that. So now figuring out how to do it, how to take it off Seth, is another thing. We got to figure out how to do that.
That's going to be way trickier with Seth than it is with Roman. With Roman,
It will be.
very It's very straightforward, but with Seth, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Seth is like one of those guys that.
Yeah, I was going to say that both is.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think both are pretty straightforward. You take it off, of Seth being captain for a little bit, not too, and you get somebody like Gunther, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, somebody like that.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. The thing is,
basically, Priest will be a transition.
Yeah, I mean, if Priest did cash in and win, then he would be considered a transitional champion. But I keep hearing if he cashes in, it's gonna fail. I keep hearing it everywhere. Like he's gonna fail. Like you don't know.
And thing is though, like
if it was to fail, I think it would be due to that they want to take him out of Judgment Day.
Right. That would be
correct.
One of them.
And Chris, you can sit here and say it's straightforward for them both. It's not. Like it's straightforward for Roman. We know how he's losing. The problem is we don't know how Seth is losing. That's the thing. Like we know about Roman, but Seth, how's Seth gonna lose? Who's gonna beat him? And that's the thing. It's like, who's the logical choice? Now, to me, and people may not have agreed with me when I said it, but to me personally, the person that I would have had done it would have been Shinsuke Nakamura.
That last man standing match was the perfect opportunity, but for some reason they booked it for Seth to retain that title.
Which
that was to me probably one of the very few times I honestly got mad over Seth retaining that title. I was like, oh, come on, dude.
I didn't mind Seth retaining it. I just thought that, in a way, I was like, hey, I would have been okay if Shinsuke would have won, because
Same here.
Shinsuke is such an incredible talent too that I definitely would have been okay with him winning the championship.
Nope.
I can see Sammy winning it at some point too. He came close the other day.
No,
And,
he did.
Drew
He
should have
did.
won it.
I
Yeah,
thought
I
Sammy was
agree.
going to walk away last night with the title.
I thought so too. Yeah.
I thought Damien was going to cash in after Seth versus Drew at Crown Jewel, but Sammy
Almost,
stole the
and then Sammy
briefcase.
got in the way.
Yeah, and then Sammy attacked him and then walked out with the briefcase and got mobbed by kids. Oh boy.
So Warren's saying Gunther wins Rumble because Roman causes Cody to lose. He wins a match against Bloodline to where he gets faced. Yeah, and so that's always been the biggest thing too, is people were saying, well, how do you get Cody to face Roman? Do you have him win the Rumble? No, he doesn't even have to win the Rumble.
Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, you can put some kind of special stipulation out there, be like, if Cody wins this match, he gets to face Roman.
Yep.
He doesn't have to win the Rumble.
He doesn't have to. I mean, it'd be cool if he did, but he doesn't have to. So that's why I think Elimination Chamber may be the event where he gets that opportunity.
And normally Elimination Chambers are like a second chance match.
Yeah, pretty much. And it being in Australia in 2024, I think it's a good opportunity for Cody to win that chance.
Yeah, it'll.
Oh God! Oh Lord, Warren.
It'll happen. Yeah, he faces the entire blood.
He's facing the entire blood.
I don't think it goes. I don't
That's why
think
I said,
it goes.
"Oh Lord, Warren." Damn.
Yeah, I don't think it goes that far. I don't think it
No.
goes that far to where he faces the
no.
entire bloodline. But
I can't see him
He
doing
faces
4.
the
I can see him
Bloodline
doing
and
3.
Judgment Day.
Yes.
Isn't he already facing Judgment Day? Like every week he comes out, one of them interrupts him and starts talking trash to him.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'm not. I thought though, and I will tell you, I thought that Sami Zayn's promo on Raw was awesome.
There's fire.
With the I didn't do it for you, Seth. I did it because I did not want the Bloodline 2.0. I fought forever trying for that not to happen. I will not allow that to happen on Raw. It was
damn. It's beautiful.
I was like, yes, that was great. Yes,
yeah. Kofi.
Like Kofi had to do Kofi Mania.
Kofi Mania. Oh my God. Woo!
Well, at that point, Kofi was so over.
He was. I jumped for joy when Kofi won the title at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
happy for him.
They didn't have an option at that point. He was so over.
No. They couldn't. There's this like strike while the iron is hot, pretty much.
Oh yeah,
Wish they'd done that with Cody and later LA Knight because they were white hot.
LA Knight, yeah.
No.
Now, did everybody see before we wrap up the show? Did everybody see that botch that they were talking about?
With Ricochet,
the Roman and LA Knight match.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I was put the foot. Yeah, the ref counted 3. Roman's foot. Jimmy got Roman's foot on the rope.
Oh yeah.
But the ref supposedly counted to 3 if you watch it back.
Yeah. So
I was just like, a ref? Are you sure?
Yeah. So I don't know.
Shouldn't LA Knight be holding the belt right now?
Yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna like turn that into a storyline or whatever.
They easily could.
They can.
I don't see it though.
They
Not
could.
They
very easily could.
It's like right there.
They could, but I
don't
see it.
It's like, hey Roman, ref counted to this. Give me my championship.
Right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I could definitely see a storyline coming out of that botch. Speaking of botches, though, Ace, I think you posted or somebody posted.
Ricochet.
Not Ricochet botch. Logan Paul actually covering up or catching Ray and causing a major injury. So
yeah, he was saving Rey Mysterio.
Look, and And Big B, I'm glad you brought that up because my honest opinion about it is look, you can hate Logan Paul all you want. I've said this too. Like, people can hate him all you want.
I don't know how you could hate him. I mean,
But at what
I
point?
do.
But at what point can you look at this guy and say, "This dude has it. This dude has it."
exactly. I mean, outside of Dragon Viper hating 90% of the wrestlers, yeah, as a fan, I mean, he's a heel, so you're supposed to hate him. But to have what 6 pro matches, I mean, granted he fought boxing too, but to be able to step in and catch a guy from pretty much could possibly end his career. I mean, maybe he couldn't have got hurt, but to be able to do that, and you got to give the guy respect. I mean, that's plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, I do, but the thing with Logan Paul is just, God, he's a douchebag heel is pretty much what he is.
Well, look, the thing is it's
I mean,
like
he's
I was
doing
trying
great
to
at
say
it.
though. It's like I was trying to say, you don't have to like the person. You don't, okay? You don't have to like the person. You don't have to like the character. But the thing is, he deserves respect because he's that one celebrity guy who came in the ring, took it seriously, put in all the hard work, put in the effort, came out and showed you time after time after time in his matches that this dude can do it. This dude can wrestle with the best of them out there.
Yeah.
He's better than a lot of guys in locker room. Honestly, he is.
I think a lot of the people who trained him, like AJ Styles, have had nothing but great things to say about him.
He absolutely. He's great. He is. And
I'm not doubting that.
You don't have to like him. You don't.
Yeah.
It's just you got to give the guy credit for what he does in the ring.
I think Warren's got one of Randy Cox's favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
No.
Doink the clown.
Doink the clown.
I hate clowns. No.
Shocker. Randy hates clowns.
Yeah, he hates clowns.
He hates clowns.
Yeah, no.
No.
His favorite guy was Val Venus.
Nada.
Was what?
Val Venus.
Hey, I did like him.
Oh!
I did like him. So
Hello, ladies.
Wow.
he was great. I did like him.
Wow, that's all I gotta say.
And good old Viscera.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, when he was actually in the ministry.
Dragon Viper's favorite tag team is probably that couple matches that the Ninja Turtles, Mutant Turtles, or whatever they were called for WWF.
No.
The only reason that they had to stop doing that is because Vince was going to actually get sued.
Yep.
Ooh. Trademark infringement, maybe?
Yep.
Yes, it was trademark infringement because he had these guys dress up like turtles, and he did not call them the Ninja Turtles. He called them something else, and I don't remember what the name was right off the top of my head. But he had one match with them, and then all of a sudden he got this copyright infringement thing, and Vince was going to get sued, and he's like, okay, we can't do that anymore.
Right.
So they had to stop doing it.
Oh, Warren, really? His favorite tag team was Billy and Chuck.
Yeah, Billy and Chuck Colombo.
Sorry.
Billy
Dragon
and Chuck
Viper
Colombo.
would be Rico.
Yes.
No.
Rico.
He was annoying. No.
Oh my god.
No.
Damn.
Anyways.
Fun fact on Rico, he was on American Gladiator.
American Ninja War. Oh, he was on American. Which Gladiator was he, or was he
No,
a
he
contender?
was a contestant. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I'm watching some of the old episodes. I think I know who you're talking about.
So we're at that point in the show now. We're at that hour mark, so it's time to go ahead and wrap it up for us. So, Crispy Bacon, your final thoughts for the evening.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching, tuning in. No On Deck, season's over, but we will have entertainment hour Stay tuned for that. And I'm sure we can talk about next week, but NXT has a new network.
Yep.
Mhm.
The CW. So
Yep.
Yep.
since Dragon
Shocking.
Viper's here and Dragon Viper's gonna be on the Entertainment Hour, Dragon Viper, why don't you go ahead and drop that little bit of news for us for the Entertainment Hour?
Yeah, it's gonna be
It
on.
doesn't matter what you do. No, I'm just kidding.
You know what, Big B? Don't be an ace, okay? Don't be an ace.
Oh, damn.
But anyway, Entertainment Hour. It's gonna be on Friday nights at 7 Pacific Standard Time, and we're just gonna be talking about, reviews of movies that we've seen, or I mean, you'll have to wait to see what we talk about when the show comes on. So yeah, Friday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And when is the first show?
The first show is this Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Big B, your final thoughts.
It's always great to sit and chit chat with wrestling with you guys. This Saturday, myself and my son will be attending a very special indie show here, one of the biggest shows that they do. We're going to meet quite a few legends, Rikishi, Tori Wilson.
Ooh, nice.
There's plenty more of the Boogeyman, so can't wait for that. I'll definitely have an update next week and some photos and maybe some videos with that show being around. So can't wait.
All right. And Christy, your final thoughts.
Just nice to come in, talk wrestling. I apologize for being late, but it's always fun to talk wrestling. And boy, it's gonna be really fun.
All right.
Rest of the week.
So thanks everybody for watching another episode of Between the Ropes. You can catch us next week for another episode of Between the Ropes on Tuesday night. So with that, everybody have a fantastic night, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Good night.